up, guys? It's your boy B Knox, aka the Purpose Pusher. Today, I'm going to be answering a question from Olivia. She asked me if I could do a video explaining what helped me get through my fast. If you don't know, if you're new to this channel, I did a 94-day fast. And it would be very, very out of character to say that I accomplished this feat alone, that I mustered up the courage and the strength and the tenacity and the perseverance, and I did it by myself. Number one, hands down, it was the good Lord upstairs who gave me the unseeable strength, gave me the strength on the backside. Because again, as I always say, what is present in the natural is also present in the spiritual. Your life is a direct reflection of what's going on in here. So I'd never forget the day. Matter of fact, the day before, we had chicken sandwiches and all other kind of stuff, French fries and everything. And I had been studying fasting. I know from a biblical standpoint what it represents, but I had been studying from the aspect of renewing your body as well as your mind. So I'll never forget it. It was just like, it was yesterday on September the 2nd. I woke up, I looked at my wife, and I said I was done. And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Listen, I'm not going to eat nothing else for at least 100 days. She didn't try to talk me out of it. She didn't try to discourage me, but she actually encouraged it. She was my prayer warrior through the entire process. Number two, I couldn't have done it without her. There's no possible way I could have fasted for 94 days without my wife. And one of the things I told her is that I didn't really want to publicize it. I didn't even want to tell anybody. But what happened is we ended up at a wedding about 2 or 3 weeks later, and people noticed that I wasn't eating. Again, I wasn't going around, "Oh my God, I'm fasting." I wasn't doing any of that. Matter of fact, if you wasn't my wife or myself or the good Lord above, you wouldn't have known, because I wasn't going to say anything. And so somebody inquired to my wife, "Why isn't Broderick eating?" And she said, he's on this journey. He's fasting. So definitely, number one, you got God. Number two, you have your direct contact, which was my wife in my case. And number three, you have to have the support of your family, your close-knit group, the people around you the most. You have to have their support. Because if you don't necessarily have their support, they will always put you in compromising positions. They'll always put you in compromising positions, because here's the real truth. Obesity, yes, it's a huge problem in the world, but what most people won't tell you is that 9 times out of 10, most people that are obese have a food addiction. No different than an alcohol addiction, no different than a drug addiction. Obese people have a food addiction. So you definitely have to be careful of the people you surround yourself with in this process, because not only are you battling your mind, not only are you battling with every day or making the decision to get up and do what you think or what you feel pulled to do, You have to battle looking at commercial after commercial, food after food. Wherever you go, there's always going to be food. And one of the things that I would always suggest, because when you're not eating, your mind is not clouded with what are you going to eat. You'll be surprised and amazed at how many times a day you think about what you're going to eat when you're eating. So when you're not eating, you have to figure out what you're going to swap out time for. Like if you notice people that smoke or people that drink, once they get off of those things, they become addicted to food, right? They have to find something to replace that addiction. So with this food addiction, you have to find something to replace the addiction. My suggestion would be reading books. My other suggestion, learn a new skill. Find something that's going to buy time, because that's all you going to have on your hand when you're not eating. So, Olivia, uh, three of the main things that helped me along the 94-day journey was, of course, my spiritual relationship with my creator, my wife, my family, and close friends. Anything outside of that, as long as your core three are on board with what you're doing, nothing else matters. And the truth of the matter is, it's going to be hard. It is going to be difficult. Like, my goodness, there were so many times I didn't think I was going to make it. And this was in the first week. This was in the first week. Like, on day 3, I'm like, what am I doing? What? Come on. No way. And then the second week, I'm thinking about all kind of stuff. Chicken tamales, all of this stuff. Like, I'm literally battling with my addiction. Now, let's talk about me after day 30. Because at day 1, I didn't see day 30. And that's why I tell people when they hit me up, dude, listen, take it a day at a time. Woman, man, a day at a time, an hour at a time, a minute at a time. Because when you try to conquer a whole 30 days before you've even conquered one, you're setting yourself up to fail. Prayer definitely has to be incorporated, because that is the only way you're going to truly overcome an addiction. Prayer, which is one of the number one untapped resources in the world. And it's so funny because people say that you've prayed enough, but the truth is you ain't prayed right. You ain't prayed enough. So prayer is definitely the answer in those quiet times. Allow your inner man to talk and connect with the source. Allow it to happen, because that's the only way you're going to have the strength to look at something and pass on it and don't even think twice about it. I remember Thanksgiving. I was so locked in that I was carving turkeys. Wasn't tempted. And my wife and my family can vouch for this. I got pictures. Carving turkey, around dressing, around potato salad, which is my favorite. And I didn't flinch. I didn't flinch. So those were some of the things that helped me get through my journey. And I would like to say, like, I took supplements and that, but honestly, I probably did that for 2 days. And outside of that, I was drinking water, and some days I would go 3 or 4 days without drinking nothing, because I was so locked in. I was locked in. And, I'm not at my goal weight, but just being able to go and get on a plane or sit in my space without bleeding over into other people's space, it's amazing to me. I'm not at my goal. I'm not finished yet. Will I do a prolonged fast again? I don't know. I have no clue. Matter of fact, the first one I did, I had no clue. I just woke up the next morning, September the 2nd, and I knew that something on the inside of me was pulling me, and it was saying, it's time. It's time to conquer the thing that has conquered you your entire life. So if you're looking at this video, pray, ask God, seek guidance, seek it. I promise you, he will give you a direct answer if you stop long enough to listen. And he'll give you the strength. I promise you, I can guarantee it. The little fast that I did is nothing compared to my man, the fasting fat man. My man fasted for like 150 days and did another 90-day fast on top of that. But for me, it was different. Right? For me, I was getting in tune spiritually, mentally, and physically with the spiritual aspect first. Even now, I can look at stuff and don't even be moved by it because food no longer has control over my life. It no longer has control over my life. Food I use as fuel. I know that my body needs certain things. And the greatest part about it is that I'm still on the journey with you. Right? I don't got a 6-pack of abs. No, it's a 3X sweater, even though I used to be in 6Xs. And I'm going to share some pictures at the end of this, right? Of the journey that I've been on. But through it all, my wife loved me. Through it all, my family, my friends loved me. Through it all, everybody that said they had my back, Olivia. And I can guarantee you, whatever it is you decide to do, maybe you decide to do OMAD. Maybe you decide to just eat vegetables and fruit. Whatever it is that you decide to do to conquer your weight or to conquer your mentality or to conquer whatever your spiritual life, whatever it is you decide to do, just make sure the circle of people that you have around you have your best interests at heart. And again, if nobody has told you that they love you, I love you. See, told you. I've come a long way, but I'm still on the journey just like you. See? Have a great day.